travel from around the world for the IDPA World Championships. It's a tale of two shooting matches at the IDPA World Championships. For shooters competing Thursday and Friday, Chamber of Commerce conditions. But not so much for squads on the weekend. Strictly duck hunting weather. Pro shooter Randy Rogers knows it comes with the sport.
Yes, this morning has been cold and raining and wet and probably some of the worst conditions I've ever shot in. But you can either cry about it or you can smile and have fun and try to shoot well. Likewise,
Brett Russo is soaked.
Yeah, I am completely wet from the head down. So, yeah, it's been quite an adventure.
The International Defensive Pistol Association is about defending yourself in real-world situations.
Kind of feels like in the spirit of IDPA, getting to shoot in a challenging environment like this is test your pistol skills, but such a great opportunity to really see your weaknesses in a situation like this for the everyday shooter.
Joyce Wilson, who runs IDPA, knows nothing is more real than rain.
Well, and that's what we told them at the safety briefing this morning is, it is what it is, and we've all shot in the rain, we've all shot in the sun, some of us have shot in snow. I mean, it is real world.
IDPA aims to build self-defense skills and confidence with firearms. It does that with instruction in concealed carry and matches for thousands of members worldwide. With the focus on defensive shooting, competitors draw from concealment and confront situations on the stages they may someday face in real life with a little imagination.
You're at the carnival trying to win a prize for your sweetie when bad people attack. Defend your family and the carny.
Each stage creates its own challenges for the 400 shooters at the world. Moving targets, handling lots of props, weekend shooting. Alicia Russell is a rising star in the IDPA universe. She's here to see how she stacks up.
I just wanted to, see how I line up with everyone else out there in the order, challenge your skills and just see where you stand overall against all the other great competitors that there are for IDPA.
Pros and amateurs both compete with divisions for shooters of all skills and experience, and with different firearms, revolvers, and semi-autos. Stock service pistols, enhanced service pistols, compact carry pistols. Austin Prue shelved his 1911 to compete with a carry gun.
The goal is CCP Distinguished Master. I'd like to achieve DM status here, and I would have to win the division to do that, and I've got some pretty stiff competition here, especially with Shane Coley of Team Glock being here.
Strict rules dictate competitors' actions. Strict, but practical. Example, shooters can't pass a window without first engaging the targets behind it. Failing to do so is a penalty. It's a lot to remember even for top shooters like Mike Seeklander.
Some of these stages like this one, there's a lot of technical stuff going on. So it's like, hey, pick the gun up, work the slide, set up in position, and shoot zeros.
Competitors are also careful to maintain constant cover, so they engage the most immediate threat first while protecting themselves from others. They call this technique slicing the pie or tactical priority.
Like over here, we have positions of cover. Tactical priority is slicing the pie, or as you see the targets. When targets in the open, like this, tactical priority is close to far.
In IDPA, you shoot for both speed and accuracy. Your score is your time plus penalty seconds. So fast is great, but you must be on target. Hits in the center or head of the target add no time to your score. Hits in the next ring out are down 1 and add a 1-second penalty. Hits in the third ring are down 3 and add 3 ticks to your score. Misses are down 5 and add 5 seconds. and hits on a non-threat with open hands are a 5-second penalty. So shooters like Smith & Wesson's Julie Golub want to hear 0 when the judge scores her targets.
0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
That's 0 penalty points. And the degree of difficulty goes way up at this World Championship. Many targets are wearing t-shirts, so shooters must judge the center of mass.
And with the shirts covering that down 0, you really have to know how to reference from the head to the chest area exactly where you need to hit. So it had all that combination of accuracy with a lot of foot speed. I loved it. It's my favorite stage.
There isn't a shooter at this World Championship who isn't a fierce competitor, but not everyone has his sights set on the same reward. Take John DePasquale and Alex Azar, shooting buddies from Texas. Winning the title is not what brings them all the way from the Lone Star State.
The shooting's part of it, but the family togetherness is awesome.
I can assure you, we won't be world champion, but we fought hard for 2 days.
Speak for yourself, buddy. There's a chance.
Competition in IDPA is divided into 6 classes from novice to distinguished master, guaranteeing shooters compete with others of similar skill. Achieving DM means a shooter like Brian Buller finishes at the top of his division at a world or national match.
I don't think it's in the cards this year. There's tons of guys that have been doing this a lot longer than I have.
Those great shooters, of course, are gunning for an even bigger title, IDPA World Champion. In the women's competition, Smith & Wesson pro Julie Golub combines speed and great hits on a stage called Fast and Furious.
I have not shot IDPA, a regular IDPA match, in many years. It's the first time I've shot with fault lines. And I'll tell you what, it is so much fun.
Julie likes where she finishes, too. 4th place among the women. Pro Randy Rogers takes on the Rain on stage 1, Tourist Trap. Her run is fast, 2nd best for the ladies.
I'd love to win the ladies title here. We'll see how it goes. It's one of those that sometimes the cards are in your favor and sometimes they're not, and you won't know until the chips are all laid down.
Randy handles the elements and her targets. 3rd place at the Worlds. Here's a newcomer making a name for herself among IDPA elites. Alicia Russell conquers weak hand shooting on the stage 5 Years to Freedom. She knows a lot is at stake.
Well, I guess world champion, right? And it would be awesome to win it, but yeah, I don't think I'm in the running for that at this point. But
Alicia couldn't be more wrong. She is in the fight with 5 stage wins, and only one woman can beat her. IDPA's own Mandy Bachman burns down stage 8 in 19 seconds. Far and away the best for the ladies, and beaten on this stage by only one man.
You know, one of my goals since I started back in 2015 was to, win a major lady title at a national or world championship. And, I'm hoping that my hard work that I've put into the past few years will pay off.
And against the sport's best, it does. Newcomer Alicia Russell wins 2nd. Mandy Bachman is tops on 7 stages and is the ladies' champ. The men's competition is more intense, and veteran Glenn Shelby shows why he's a fixture at the top of the leaderboard. Top 10 scores on 8 match stages, and this run on Fast and Furious that truly lives up to the name. Glenn is 6th overall. Phil Strader proves it takes more than luck to set a fast time on stage 13. He beats the competition by more than 3 seconds and grabs 5th in the championship.
Whew, how was that? That was crazy. I've never shot with a sling on, switching hands and tactical loading, and it's a lot going on.
Rob Latham runs at high speed as he finishes the match with top 10 scores on 8 of 15 stages. Good enough to take 4th place, but not the only reason Rob is here.
I can be around shooters of any type, and I'm in the right place.
2 shooters battle it out for the title. Perennial contender Mike Seeklander and young gun B.J. Norris. Mike just seems to get better with age, fastest for the match on a couple of stages, and top 10s on 8 others.
Kind of herky-jerky. It's our second stage of the match, so it's one of those things where it's like all over the place, trying to settle up. And
Mike's afraid he's left a door open.
So, not bad.
There is nothing so-so about BJ's performance. He shoots top 10 on a dozen stages and wins 5 of those outright. Truly world-class shooting.
You know, I had a little bit of ugly up there in the front, but I was able to make it up at the end. That's what those extra shots were.
A few extra shots en route to a win. Mike Seeklander falls to second. B.J. Norris is the IDPA world champion. It's a world-class competition for a world-class shooting sport. Joyce Wilson says it's not named IDPA for nothing.
China, Kenya, Thailand, Turkey. It is absolutely the International Defensive Pistol Association.
With shooters from 24 nations competing in this championship, no wonder they chose a world-class venue, the Civilian Marksmanship Program Shooting Park in Talladega, Alabama. It's a source of great pride for park manager Joey Hardy.
We want everyone to come here and have a great experience. So having a group like that say this is the range of choice for them to hold their match at is just a great feeling.
Europe, Asia, Africa, every continent sends its shooters. Hans Silbitzer is here from Austria. Sammy Onyango lives in Kenya.
But we are here also representing shooting sports in Kenya and representing our nation, our country.
Kenya is known for great distance runners, and Sammy wants to add to his country's reputation.
We need to actually venture into the other kind of sports, which we've been doing since 2016, and growing into IDPA has been a blessing for us.
For many international shooters, their own nation's laws make it tough to enjoy the shooting sports. That's why Darek Ujak came from Poland to compete in America.
The first difference is that the weapon is limited in Poland, so very small quantity of the person shoot, in fact. And you don't have a lot of person like US shooters on the very high skill level, and it's not comparison.
He says there are only 50 shooters in Poland's IDPA. It's a similar story for Antti Lukonen, who says it's hard to shoot in Finland with its very restrictive firearms laws.
It's quite difficult to start it because of our gun laws. You have to first shoot 2 years, then you can own your own gun. But how are you going to shoot that 2 years without gun?
The biggest statement in support of shooting comes from the Chinese IDPA. 20 competitors at this match from halfway around the world. Hong Si Wong is one.
So I fly from Beijing to New York and had to wait for the next flight to Atlanta for about 5 hours. So in total it's about 22, 23 hours.
But Wong says competing at the Worlds is worth it.
We love shooting. Very simple. Yeah, we love shooting.
Team China has a secret weapon supporting its shooters in the States. Ming Chi En was born in China, but lives in Michigan now. He's one of the founders of his homeland team and supplies its pistols and ammo.
Many of you may know that China is very strict on the firearm and related law. Not even airsoft is allowed for civilian use. So these groups travel to countries like Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Philippines very often. So they have to get their training in these places.
No, the team can't even practice at home, but it sponsors a stage at this championship.
This stage is sponsored by IDPA, China Official Universal Tactical Alliance. You haven't heard of them? Okay.
People from around the world enjoying our great freedom.
They have some serious commitment to this sport, and I'm really glad that they're able to come over here and to shoot among the best.
We love it. We enjoy the game. We enjoy shooting.
This is a fun, easy drill that I like to shoot that really works on transitioning between low and high focus targets. And in today's pro tip, we're going to show you the difference between a low focus target and a high focus target for you. For today's drill, we have an improvised target system here, which is just a piece of paper, a 10-inch dinner plate, and a Sharpie. And all you're looking to do is to get a circle on the center of this piece of paper that you can staple up pretty much anywhere. So what is the difference between a low focus and a high focus target? For me, a low focus target is a wide open piece of paper that is generally within 10 yards that I normally take one sight picture for every 2 shots. A high focus target is normally past 10 yards and requires 2 sight pictures for 2 shots. And in the first part of today's drill, we're going to show you how to determine the distance where it's that transition between a low focus target and a high focus target for you. With a fresh paper target up, I start at 5 yards. On the start signal, it's 2 shots with 1 sight picture. If you're in the circle, back up 2 yards and repeat the process, moving back in 2-yard increments until your second shot ends up outside of the circle. There we go. So here's our second shot, which was 11 yards, kind of what I expected. So all my high focus targets that require 2 well-aimed shots is past 10 yards. So with this information, we're going to go ahead and set up portion 2 of today's pro tip. In the first part of today's drill, we learned that for me, a high focus target starts about 11 yards. For you, it might be a little bit further and it might be a little closer, just depends on how the first part of today's drill went. The second part of today's drill, with the information that we learned from the first part, I've got my high focus target set up at 11 yards and I've got 2 low focus targets set up about 5 yards. In the drill, off the start signal, you're going to draw and shoot 2 rounds on each target within the circles. My goal here is about 3.5 seconds, so we'll see how it goes. All right, there you go. There's your fun, fast, effective training tool to help you pick up speed on those low focus targets and get your hits on those high focus targets. Until next time, shoot fast and don't miss.